Rabbit. There it is.
Rabbit.
Well done, Peter. Attaboy, Peter. Rabbit indeed. Welcome to the show here on a April Fool's Day. Do you like April Fool? Do you like being fooled? Do you like people getting all cheeky and clever and trying to hoodwink you?
I don't mind it, I guess.
Yeah.
If it's good-hearted. If you're
Well,
trying to hoodwink me and steal my money like all of my money, then
not as good. Yeah,
less
not
cool.
as good. Yeah. You'd love it if you were back here in Canada. We could talk carbon tax and all that sort
I
of stuff.
heard there's some hot topics.
It's a big day
Hot.
for everybody. Yeah,
Rabbit, carbon tax.
That's right.
Oh, get it.
Yeah, it's big time.
That's not April Fool's then? That's not.
No, I think that's I mean, it's a joke, but I don't know that it's a swerve in any way, shape.
Can you imagine if at the end of the day it's like, ha! We got you, buggers.
You thought we were really going to do it, didn't you? No, vote for us now. See, we have a sense of humor. Had you. I don't know if it's there's no Pinder today. So I don't know if that's a sad surprise. I don't know if that's a happy surprise. I believe he is swooshing down the slopes today with his family out somewhere out there.
Swooshing.
Swoosh. Yeah.
It would be hard for him.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of a silent sport. Not even a sport, but
oh, he'd make up for it on the chairlift. He'd be just badgering and yipping your ear off, and he's there with the kids. So that's a good thing. He'd only be half drunk and high because the kids are there. He wouldn't be full on Pinder with the family there. But no, I guess Mama said we're going. We would love to go because it's. I think it's spring break. Kids are off or something. Spring break, kids, school, something. Wanted to go skiing, so he said, "Let's do it."
Well, apparently the shoveler wanted to go swimming because we're going to the beach now.
You're going to the beach. You're off tomorrow. You're heading to check out all that glorious snow down in FLA.
That's damn right. Show me the elbow room. Let's go.
Where are you? What's the end location?
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale. It was a surprise, and I'm not completely upset by the surprise.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be upset either. How many days are we going to
Tuesday to Saturday? Tuesday to Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever.
Pretty good. Very nice. How about you, Jack? What do you, Jack? What do you got going on? Any big plans?
Nothing like you guys. Fuck.
No. How was the long weekend?
It was good. Went down to Montana, just relaxed. First massage ever, actually. My girlfriend made me do it. Pretty good.
Happy ending? Big fan? Did she administer the massage, or did you actually go to a...
No, she booked it for me and everything.
Oh, I see. She didn't just start giving you a background. I got you.
No.
So was it a male or female masseuse?
It was a female masseuse.
All right. Was there any uncomfortable moments? Did you
have control of the situation?
Were you able to hang,
Yeah, it was completely fine.
Yeah.
I was a little weird at first, but I just laid there, relaxed.
So walk us through it. So you go for a, this sounds very nice. I'm guessing, did she go as well? So was it a couple's deal?
No, it was just me.
Really?
Yeah.
You stressed out, Jack?
You got to loosen up.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So you go to an establishment.
Correct.
And hello, Mr. Jack. Would you like a male or a female? Female. Okay. And so what kind of a service did we have? Was it a 30-minute, a 60-minute? Was it a Swedish massage? Was it a deep tissue? What did we have?
A 60-minute. I don't really I just showed up. I didn't really know what was going to happen. Like I said, it was my first time. And my girlfriend made the appointment. It's like, I'm here for my massage. Then they bring you into the room and then they leave. And I'm like, where do I put my clothes? Kind of freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Fold everything up, put it nicely on the chair, lay down. And then, she came back in and I laid there for an hour. It was good.
So did you go right down to all the gear off? Did you gear right down?
I got left just the underwear.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what the proper etiquette was either.
I know. It's awkward. I mean,
I just strut around.
you just
Sometimes.
prance.
Hello.
I'm
Nice.
prancing around.
It is odd the first time you go. You're like, what's going on here?
If I gear right down, is she gonna freak out, or if I keep this? If I keep the stuff on, is she gonna be like, well, you're gonna have to take those off? Okay, so you go to get the back rub, and then could you flip over and slide down? Did you have your head in the donut deal at the end of the table? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little awkward too. Like I much preferred being on my stomach, because then you flip over to your back and you're just kind of, it's like, do I close my eyes? Do I just stare at you?
Close your eyes, Jack.
Yeah.
Depends. Good looking gal. Maybe you want to stare.
Maybe you want to look deep into her eyes. So will you be going back? Would you do it again?
Well, she recommended I come back.
No shit.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Go figure. I don't know. I don't really need to go back. I don't know.
Was it addicted to it?
Yeah. Do you think that maybe you go back the next time, you won't be as uptight? You'll be a little bit more familiar with how it goes. You'll know what's coming. You'll be able to relax a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. But also, I didn't find it very relaxing. I found like it hurt.
That's why you need to go back.
That's why you got to go back.
You're so
very
tense.
tight, Jack.
Yeah.
You're very tight. We need to loosen these muscles up.
Retro loves the massage.
Love a great massage.
Yeah.
Getting expensive. Carbon tax. Everything's going up.
Damn Nenshi, you know.
Damn Nenshi.
Son of killing us. Yeah, killing us.
I heard the mayor had
a
round of applause.
I meant to grab that, but again, I don't want to make this a political thing at all.
Not a political. We weren't there. We have nothing to do with it. We're observing things that are happening in the world.
The Calgary mayor was soundly booed at the Saddle Dome the other night. And it wasn't a sprinkling of people from one section. No, Rhett. 'Twas not a smattering. I would say it was a chorus of boos, as they say.
Raining down.
They rained down. So I had to back it up. I had to watch it a couple times. Like, ooh, that's something. Not sure what it says, but it says something for sure.
Well, when you're on the ice, it sounds different.
Barely hear it.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, I said, there's no way she could have expected that, right? You'd think this is a nice night and it's very nice that, they've got the jerseys and we're celebrating. And it's a warm, heartwarming kind of deal. And then a boo. And there were no other boos. All the other people on the ice, nice round of applause for everybody. But it did turn there at the end. So I don't really know what to say about it beyond that.
Well, just don't have to say anything.
Yeah, don't need to say anything. Then the Flames took to the ice, and I think they soundly defeated the LA Kings. Once they got that third goal, it seemed to really kind of take the starch out of the LA Kings. Shots were 26-5 at one point.
It felt like the Kings were hanging around, but they weren't doing a lot to win that game.
Yeah, they were hanging around for sure. I don't know how great at the same time. I don't know how great David Riddick had to be either. I don't think he was great, and I don't think he made terrific saves. But the Flames end their 5-game skid. They win it by a score of 4-2, and the 2 goals that beat Markstrom, pretty good goals. That one timer from Kempe, it's a hell of a shot. So I don't know what that tells us about the LA Kings. We'll talk about them coming up later. They got a game here. They're in a fight for the wild card spot. I don't know how far removed they are. That can't be the team that they are, right? You don't.
I thought Kelly mentioned who they played. I didn't look it up, but I think they had a couple of big games coming into Calgary prior.
Yeah, they lost to the Oilers. They did beat Vancouver. I was actually looking at it this morning because Betway bets and the Kings. It's there's a lot of things going on. But I don't know. I don't think that they're in a spot where they should be feeling
No,
overly
you don't.
comfortable.
You don't get to say you're in a spot, but sometimes it just happens too, right? You're getting up for other opponents and bigger games, and then there's one that you got to play. It's not exactly circled or emphasized.
Yeah.
And then
Jackie boy, can you throw up the West Wildcard chase that is there? Because you've got some things going on, and some of it's to do with the standings, and some of it's to do with the wild card. But it feels like in a lot of ways things are kind of set. So there's the Kings as we head in, 87 points. I don't know if there's enough runway. 5 points for the Blues to catch the Kings feels like a lot.
A lot with 8 games left.
Right?
16 points out there.
The floor is really going to have to.
And the
fall
Kings
out
have
on
an
the
extra
Kings.
game.
Yeah, they got the game in hand. So it feels like they're kind of set. So, and now I'm throwing it around to you. If we could look at the Western Conference standings, I'm kind of with you. I don't think that St. Louis is going to be able to do it. We saw Minnesota. Did you see they pulled the goalie 3-on-3 again?
Yeah.
My daughter, she was watching. She's all into hockey for whatever reason these days. She's like, because I had showed her that game. She gets very nervous when teams pull the goalie. Oh, geez, what's going? Oh, gosh, geez. And then when Boldy scored, whoever they beat that night a couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago, and then they did it again, and then Vegas put it into the empty net. She says, "See, I told you, one-hit wonder. I told you, Dad, just a one-hit wonder. You shouldn't be pulling the goalie. What are they doing? Shouldn't be doing it." So that kind of put the nail in their coffin. So there's where you sit. Now, the Nashville-Winnipeg thing is interesting because the Preds, they have their big winning streak is over, but the Jets have lost 6 in a row. And you look at the games played, and Nashville, 4 points back, could have a humdinger of a finish here, Retro, in the Central and in the wild cards. What a time to hit the skin. And it looked so good. Toffoli came in, looked great. Monahan had been playing great. And then banana peel. No bueno, my friend. No bueno. And I wonder now, too, the Vegas Golden Knights they look like a team right now that feels like they're able to exhale a little bit, and it might be the best thing for them that they can just play and not worry too much now. I would love an Edmonton Vegas first round. I've seen enough of the Oilers and Kings. Not that it's not good hockey, but of course you'd like Vegas to win, right?
Frickin' Oilers could still catch Vancouver, though.
Yeah. Vancouver wins again yesterday, just one game in the NHL. They beat the Ducks yesterday. I don't know. I feel like the teams that are in, that's going to be your Western Conference picture.
Changing. No. And
now it's just maybe some shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Is that what it is? Shoveling? Something like that. So that's the story there. We'll look at the NHL at the old picture. Now you'll notice in there no Calgary Flames.
Huh.
We've gone out on a limb here at Barnburner and declared that the Flames will miss the postseason in the 23-24 playoffs.
Bold statement, but
yeah. Despite how good they looked the other night.
Being mathematicians, we're just going with the math and the science behind it.
It's science. There's a lot of the analytics that we employ a big analytics team, and they've kind of instructed us to suggest that maybe it's not going to be the playoffs. Move the lines around a little bit. This is what you're kind of looking for now. So let's see the kids, who's going to play with who. Kadri with Kuzmenko and Pospisil. Pospisil scores. Kuzmenko's been better. He got the couple goals or whatever it was against St. Louis going back, and then had a couple of assists the other night as well. And Sharon Govich with Zeri and Coronado. You wanted the kids? You're getting the kids. I hope you're happy.
Well, let's happy to see the big win. I mean, that's clearly driven by the kids.
Yeah. Kuzmenko's not a kid, really.
It's a good point, but he played well, didn't he? Those are some nice passes.
Yeah. We'll hear from Rasmus Andersson coming up in the Pinder Report. We kind of talked about it. He's one of those guys. Seems like maybe the starch had been taken out of his game a little bit. Mackenzie Weegar's really been, he got his, 18th goal?
18.
Pretty good. But I liked Rasmus the other night. I thought he was a lot better. He was skating, blocking shots, looked like the give a crap meter had kind of come up a little bit. It's what you want to see here over the final stretch of games. But for sure, I want to see the kids. And like Todd said it last week, I guess Pelche, I don't know. The Wranglers qualified for the playoffs. They've got 6 games left, I think, in their regular season. What do you gain, I guess, for the Flames to bring him back up and send him back down? Do you just let him finish the season? I don't know.
We're not watching him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're yelling, play the kids, because you might as well play the kids. And we just look at the situation the Flames are in, and it's like, well, this seems like an easy decision. But we're not watching him. We're not following Wranglers hockey. We're not seeing whether he's playing the way they think he can play, whether he's playing hard, whether he's still a little bumped and bruised. We don't have any of the background on it. So, and again, sitting in Buffalo, I'd say play the kid.
Yeah,
Bring him up and let him have some ice time. And when the playoffs start, right down to the Wranglers again. Thank you very much. Because he's maybe you don't throw him in there if you're watching him and he's struggling, but no, I play the hell of the kids, and it's awesome the Wranglers made it. Now they can have a playoff opportunity.
Yeah. I profess to not know if this schedule, they've got 6 games left, and they have 3 weeks in which to play them. They play pair of weekend games, pair of weekend games, pair of weekend games, somewhere in the 20th of April. So they got a lot of off time between now and then. But the Flames, meanwhile, here's your April. Get ready for it. Tomorrow night, it's the Ducks. They go to Winnipeg and then come back to play the Oilers. There's just 4 home games left for the Flames. So that's this week. Ducks in Winnipeg Thursday, home to the Oilers on Saturday. Next week, California road trip, San Jose, and then LA and Anaheim again back-to-back. And then the final 3 of the season, it's Sunday at home to Phoenix/Arizona, however you want to call it. Then to Vancouver, then home to take on the San Jose Sharks. I'm having a hard time, Red.
Having a hard time what?
Play the kids. What are we looking
motivated?
for? Yeah. I am going to have a very hard time over the next 3 weeks. If it's our job, if it's my job, our job, whatever, to get helmets on and get people revved up and to do some work and look at what to expect in the upcoming matchup. I don't know how well equipped I am to do that over the next 3 weeks. I'm critical. Here I am. Their give a shit meter looks like it's down a little bit. I feel and I fear my give a shit meter. I'm going to take a steep drop here.
Might be influenced.
Steep drop, yeah. See, because Pinder's not here today, he'd be telling you how great it is. He'd be looking at the out-of-town scoreboard and the inverse standings, and damn, the Senators got to win and this and that.
Inverse standings are okay right now.
They're okay. I don't.
That's still not gonna keep you motivated to. No jumping jacks for that.
No, I don't do any bad ankles.
Oh yeah,
sore calves. Yeah.
Achilles.
But what about that sked? Gets you now. There's some intrigue, I guess, but it's more on the Winnipeg side for the game on Thursday. And then Edmonton, the final meeting between these two. Are you jacked to have the Oilers in town?
I'd be frightened to have the Oilers in town.
Not really. Then a California road trip. Some 10:30 starts out in the East.
Excellent.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See the Sharks and the Ducks again and the Kings again. And then the Sharks again. And thanks a lot, Gary. Now, maybe if you look at it, if things were in a different spot, you'd be licking your chops. These are some bad hockey teams. The Flames can really bolster their playoff standing. They can really make some hay here over the last 3 weeks. If you can beat the Sharks, if you can beat the Ducks, maybe you get some home ice in round 1 of the playoffs.
It's
not this year.
It's too bad you've already put out the statement that our crack team of analytics department has already informed us not to sell playoff tickets.
Don't do it.
No.
Yeah. Don't head to the box office. Is that still what you do to get tickets? I haven't bought tickets.
I'm not sure if that.
I'm not sure.
Try it.
Yeah. Let's we're gonna have Frank Seravalli joining us in a little bit here. Those, I guess, were kind of our opening statements for McLeod Law. Not a deep dive on the game. We'll really get into tomorrow's game, though. Actually, you won't be here. You're gonna miss out, Red, on all that Ducks Flames prep.
Wow, lucky Pinder will be back. Whew.
Yeah.
He's the authority.
Yeah. Do you want to give us, just because you won't be here tomorrow, do you want to give us your look ahead?
I think it's going to be a successful evening in the fact that the Ducks have been playing shitty hockey all year, and they'll be able to continue that. And the Flames will absolutely not be looking forward to a game against another shitty team. So they're going to fall flat. And I'm predicting a 4-2 Ducks win.
Oh, geez. The Ducks have 1 win in their last 10 games. They've won 4 in a row. Yeah. Yeah. Not ideal. So big win for the Ducks.
Oh,
I wonder what that'll do for the inverse standings.
Well, Pat Verbeek is not going to stand for this.
No,
long. He's going to marching around yelling and screaming.
He won't like it. They got tuned up pretty good by the Oilers the other day. I think it was the 5-0 run there was pretty good. Yeah. That's your opening statements for McLeod Law. Shane King, what a guy. Partner in the litigation and dispute resolution group specializing in areas like employee rights. Being laid off or terminated can be difficult. Shane can review your situation, make sure you've been treated fairly and as the law requires, with a practical approach and plain language, not legal jargon. Calgary people working for Calgarians. They know the city. The roots run deep here. That's why you love McLeod Law. People that you know and trust taking good care of you. It's get whatever it is, personal, business, whatever your challenge is, McLeod-law.com and let them go to work for you and feel good about it. Feel good about it. Insider Hotline. Joined by Frank Seravalli. It's brought to you by TELUS. Enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games, awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter. For your chance to win, go online, telus.com/Flames contest. We say hello to our buddy, Frank Seravalli, who's just, are you having a little nappy poo?
No, I just did a live show for a half hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, it was a 24-hour bug last week. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hydrate.
Gotta hydrate.
Did the Pedialyte and all that, like get the IV?
No IV, just some Gatorade.
Attaboy. Well, you'll be happy to know that my wife has done some work here. She brought up a bag yesterday. She said, here is Frank's jacket. So the jacket has been located. I know of its whereabouts.
I didn't see any proof.
And it is in an enormous bag that I will be bringing across the continent to you in the next couple of days.
About time.
Because you probably need
time for spring, Frank. Just in time for spring.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah. Now that the
it's golf
cold weather.
Season. Thank you for the parka.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I'm prepared to keep it. If you want to have it here for you for next year in Jasper, then you don't need to bring it out from Philadelphia when you come, thus saving you and me luggage space and all of that.
Nah. I still want to see you bring it. You're checking a bag anyway.
Well, I don't know if I am. That's the thing. If I'm bringing this thing, I'm definitely checking a bag.
Yeah, you checked the bag last time and you brought the wrong coat.
Yeah, I know I did. Yeah, I know. Damn.
What is this? What's that line from Fat Guy in a Little Coat? Like you bring this coat and it's your wife's and it's not the right color.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I'm like, I can't even get this on.
Plus, you got to get that one home. Or did you take
I've got that one came home with Pinder.
Oh.
I've got that. I've got 2 coats.
You're going to need a coat. It's cool in Philly this weekend. You're going to be out at night. That might
right.
It's WrestleMania this weekend. Rhett, are you coming?
Yeah. No,
I'm not because the shoveler bought tickets to Florida. So apparently I'm going to the beach.
Apparently.
That's a win.
That's
that's better.
I love Philly, but
I'm highly I've never done a WrestleMania, and I'm highly suspect of the clientele this weekend.
Yeah, I've never done one either, but I know exactly what I'm getting into.
I feel like it's vaguely bordering on Comic-Con, not to insult anyone, but
it'll be a lot of grown men wearing belts and
outfits,
wigs and outfits. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to see, I would guess you're going to see at least a baker's dozen Macho Man Randy Savages, guys in tights with the glasses and the hair and doing the whole thing. Yeah. It's going to be like, well, I don't think people are.
No, I want to ask. Is the town wound up for it? Is it kind of only that certain group of people that participate in it that are excited?
I think only the people that know about it. Like, it's not something that's being talked about. I mentioned, like, at Easter yesterday, my brother and my sister were there. Hey, you guys going to WrestleMania? And they were like, what? WrestleMania is here? Like, they had no idea. So it's not like a big,
not quite mainstream.
Well, not in your fruity tooty household.
Yes.
Wrestling.
So I'm excited though.
Now,
once in a lifetime.
You're going one of the days. Which day are you going? See, Frank. God.
I have tickets to both. I'm going to sell one. So which one's the better night?
Well, retro could be on the way back.
I can make Sunday.
You could make Sunday.
I didn't put out any invitations.
There it is.
But,
well, I could just buy.
Yeah, that's true.
You could, but that would require you to get off your wallet.
I'm not cheap. That's one thing I'm not.
I don't know. That bet from that bottle says you
that's
are.
That's
a different. Yeah.
More than make up. The VIG is running, so I've already it adds up in my.
See, that's weird though. Like, we got together at All Star. Did you pick up any tabs? I can't remember.
Was that on a corporate event? And I did pick up a bunch of tabs. See the guy over this side? Oh, this side.
Yeah.
He could confirm. I'm not cheap.
It is an interesting thing though. He's not. He's
not defending you, Rhett. He's not.
He likes to drag out the repayment of a bet just to kind of let you sit on it for a bit. But he is not cheap. He's extremely generous. So it is very strange that the two coincide. It's true. I never really thought of it.
I want to drink the drink with you, Frank. That's all it is.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's going to get you. You can't take it across or on the plane. Blah blah blah. All these circumstances.
Yeah, he's not really
pretty
all that
soon,
eager to send you the bottle, but if you're together, he'll buy you 100 bottles. Like, that's kind of how it
VIG's running. Like, we're getting into Pappy territory.
Yeah,
we're already well over a year. We're 2 points a week. I mean,
Anyway, I'm gonna get sorry, Jack, I'm putting you on the spot again. We were just kind of kicking around the East and West standings and just how much in some ways it feels like the teams that are set, you're kind of ready to go. Now, maybe some shuffling, there'll be some maneuvering in there and around, but in the East, you got some teams that don't seem to want to win. It's kind of we're not sure who wants to get in. Detroit has not been very good. Washington, almost by default, feels like they're in a pretty good spot, as you don't even see them there because they've moved up into a division spot. Tampa Bay feels like they're home and cool, but what's your read here? Because the Flyers, they've got that extra game played. We know Detroit's not been playing well. What's your read here? And I don't know how. I don't see the Islanders as a part of this group. But
you can cross off the Islanders because they've played as poorly as the Flyers. The Flyers they're leaking oil, and I think that's the toughest part for them to swallow is that this year in which at every point they've fended off anyone trying to challenge them for a playoff spot, except for now. And this last week was just such a disaster. 8 points on the table, and you only take home one of them. You had a 6-5 OT loss to the Rangers, and outside of that, the 3 other games you played, you could muster a grand total of 3 goals. So it's not just the losses. It's not just the lack of scoring. It's also these last couple games, the clear lack of quality competition that really has raised some eyebrows. A 5-1 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks. Like, if you're the Flyers who have played hard at every turn so far this year to lose that big against the Hawks, like what's the excuse? And so they're going to get a boost tonight. Jamie Drysdale returns to the lineup against the Islanders. That's big. At some point, we'll see an Ivan Fedotov sighting in net, but it's basically two teams for one spot, and that's between the Red Wings and Flyers. And the difficulty for the Red Wings is they've also been no better themselves.
Is Torts the issue?
I don't think he's the issue, because while all that was going on with Sean Couturier, they beat the Leafs, they took the Canes to OT, and then beat the Bruins. That was the week of the Sean Couturier thing. It's since Couturier's returned, the wheels have fallen off.
And you mentioned that game against the Rangers. Didn't they were up 3-0, or they had a lead in that game, and then ended up losing in overtime, like you said. Now, you don't see Washington there. We'll take a look at the standing, because I wasn't sure they were going to make the playoffs. Now they're
basically in. I mean, I have a hard time seeing them miss. They've got an advantage. They've got 2 games in hand on the Flyers. They're tied in points. I mean, to me, the way the Caps have played of late, it's not just the wins, it's the teams that they've beaten to get in. They've run the gauntlet in their schedule, and they've got 9 games left to hang on. I think they're in fine shape.
Yeah. What's your read on Detroit? They're there too. They have not played very well at all, and they've had opportunities to get in there, but they've not been able to execute at all.
They should have, at this point, surpassed the Flyers. If the Flyers have a run like they've had, any team worth their salt should be knocking off the Flyers. And the Wings can't seem to get out of their own way. It's been an insanely mercurial season in Detroit. Started off well from basically mid to late November on until the calendar turned to 2024. They couldn't win. They were awful in December. And then Patrick Kane, he really started to heat up their offense when they were healthy. They looked pretty good for another 6-week chunk of time. And then now they're back to really struggling. And I think there's probably 2 ways to look at the Red Wings and their deadline. A lot of people have been critical of Steve Yzerman, saying, well, why didn't he go out and add more? Maybe he could have helped put this team over the top, end this playoff drought that they've had. I look at it and say, maybe Steve Yzerman just knew what his team was, or more importantly, what it wasn't, and that this wasn't the year to be moving any futures to try and make something happen and artificially do it.
You never get that side of it very often, do you? Where a team that clearly needs some help, but the GM does nothing at the deadline, that not often do you take that step backwards and say, or take a breath. Maybe that's the right thing. Maybe there is something to looking at this team. Have we got enough here that I'm going to spend some assets or picks to go, not all in, but just to add more to this year's team? Yeah, the Wings have, and now Dylan Larkin, you can't control that, but Larkin leaves the game. I guess it was yesterday or the day before. So not good for sure for them. And in the West, you talk about leaking oil. The Winnipeg Jets didn't see it coming. Looked like they got the Monahan deal done early. They bring in Tyler Toffoli. They're good in net. They seem okay on the back end. They'll get Gabe Velarde back. They're ready to roll. They've lost 6 straight games, and now very much have to look in their rearview mirror. They've got games. They've played more games than everybody. And Nashville, even though they're not still crushing this, they're 15-0-2 or whatever it was at the time, they are very much in the rearview mirror here of the Jets.
Yeah, so the Jets, that standing is actually a little bit inaccurate. The Jets have 8 games left, not 5. But still, nonetheless, the point is well made. They have not played well. Their top line has gotten caved in. I can't really explain why in a 2-week period of time, after looking like they had all of their pieces put together, they've suddenly just fallen apart. Their power play went, I think, 16 or 18 straight without scoring. They finally broke through, one for their last 19 or 20. The penalty kill has allowed 6 goals against in their last 18. It's been ugly. And at that, this team that had hung its hat on all season long of defense and goaltending, they've let in a lot of goals as well as a result. So it's hard to kind of single in on or key in on one specific area. If you're a Jets fan that you're looking at and you go, how can we find a way to put this all back together again? Might want to start with that top line, though, because to me, when I look at the Jets and I'm staring down either Colorado or Dallas, assuming that they hold off the Preds, which I think is probably a pretty fair bet. I mean, you look at Dallas, you look at Colorado, like if your top line isn't going, I mean, good luck. You don't have a prayer.
Yeah. I know that Bonus is getting a little bit of criticism, and he's been away from the team a little bit, and then he comes back. That just his in-game adaptability, his willingness to change on the fly and read situations is kind of being brought into question there. Not that you're going to make a coaching change, I don't think, this late, but it feels like, just talking to some of the people out there, that they're getting outplayed. They're also getting outcoached a lot right now. It seems to be kind of the theory out there. Now you can turn it around. You don't want to peak too early, and they certainly are not peaking too early. We had it was the Flames and the Kings here the other night. And I don't know. We were just
maybe they did, by the way. Maybe the Jets did peak too
early.
And
they did it last year.
That's what happened last year.
Yeah, they did it last year. I don't know.
Didn't it kind of feel exactly like this one calendar year ago? Like there wasn't anyone giving that team a chance over the Golden Knights, was there?
Yeah. It's, you have to wonder. And again, would it be another one of those years where finally Kevin Cheveldayoff makes, okay, I'll spend my first round pick, let's go, and then it ends up not paying off. He did it for, I guess, what did he bring? Stastny the one year, and he brought Kevin Hayes the one year, and it didn't work.
Stastny worked. They got to the Western Conference Final.
Yeah, Stastny worked, but he's so loath to do anything. He sits on his hands, and I don't know if it really works.
I mean, he went out and did it this year. It's probably a pretty good. To me, I look at it and say, usually those are not the teams that go out and spend that end up going on the deep run.
Yeah. In the wild card chase there too in the West, it feels like it's kind of done. St. Louis is a ways back. It does feel like it, but we watched LA here the other night. They did not. They weren't overly impressive. Let's say that they got beaten Edmonton. They lost here. They've got the Jets tonight, but I don't know that. As we're using the leaking oil analogy, I don't know that they're in a spot where St. Louis is going to catch them. Do you?
No. I mean, I think the Kings have kind of done just enough all season long. They started out pretty well. They were in a spot a few weeks ago where, think back to the All-Star break. They made their coaching change. They really weren't good for a period of time after that. And then they righted the ship just as soon as they were sort of, falling out of the playoff picture, got themselves in gear, and have, sort of just kind of skated by. The Golden Knights, I really like the process that we've seen from them. They weren't getting the results for a while, but for a 2 to 3 week period of time had played pretty well. Now are finally getting the points in the standings that I certainly wouldn't want to run into Vegas if I'm Edmonton after all the work that they've done. I just think you perfectly summed up the Kings in sort of 4 or 5 sorry words, is like, they've just done enough. They've got nice, talented pieces, but there's enough holes there that I don't seriously view the Kings as a contender or a team that's going to make noise in the playoffs.
Are we not talking enough about the Dallas Stars? It feels like the Colorado Avalanche, they're down 4-0 to Pittsburgh. They roar back, they win. It's one-time goals. It's McKinnon, and meanwhile, the Dallas Stars, are right there with them or one step ahead of them, or they have been punch for punch with the Colorado Avalanche here for a long stretch and are in a great spot. And maybe it's just us. Maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention. But damn, the Dallas Stars have been as consistent as any team out there, and could win that division.
I mean, they were my pick to win the cup before the season started.
Look at you, see?
No, I'm just saying, like, are we talking about them enough? I mean, my answer is they're just not as in your face as the Avs. They don't have, the speed, the whatever to, they're not flashy, but they execute well. They
feel like a playoff team, right? It sounds kind of corny media speak, but they feel big and deep and strong. And if they get the goaltending, they're going to be a fit for whoever they play.
I picked them to win because I think their game translates better than any other team in the postseason. And you can say that's crazy. Look at that Avs team that won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. You mean to tell me that doesn't translate? This Stars core has already played in a cup final. It was in a bubble, so some people say that doesn't count. They've had deep runs. I think they're just as well constituted as any team, provided that Jake Ottinger rounds into form. Even still, with the way Ottinger has played this season, I still take Jake Ottinger over Alexander Georgiev any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Yeah. Fair or unfair?
Fair.
Yeah.
Show me the hole on Dallas's roster. I'm not saying there is one for Colorado. I'm just, where are you attacking them?
Yeah. And we with all the Tanev to Dallas speculation, well, which player, their talent pool seems very obviously. Stankoven came in and gave them a bit of
oven.
Yeah, he's been great. Tanev has been a great fit there. They've got youth, they've got veteran experience. They look like a lot of fun.
Wyatt Johnson closing in on a 30-goal season. They've still got Maverick Bork, who was Stankoven's running mate in the AHL, having an unbelievable year. I mean, at some point, Heiskanen is going to get some love for the Norris Trophy. Not this year, but he's inching towards that conversation. And I don't see the hole. They're big. They're nasty. Like, they've got all the attributes.
Yeah. Is Kochetkov going to be enough for Carolina in net?
Cooch? That's what they call him. I think so. I mean, his numbers have, if you look at another guy that had some really interesting or difficult splits in his season, like he's one guy that since he found himself has really been quite good. So I look at him and say he's got some playoff experience. That Canes team defends well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think if you're ranking the top 16 starting goalies, game one starters for all the playoff teams, my guess is Kochetkov probably comes in somewhere around like 11th or 12th. Like they're in the realm of possibility for sure.
Yeah. And if things play out the way that you kind of feel, or that it looks like it, I think they cruise by Washington. Gensel has fit in like a dirty shirt there. He has been just fine. And maybe it's just because of where they play. Maybe they don't have that high end, seemingly star caliber guy, but no one really talks about Carolina. And they too have that feel like if they can get the goaltending, they're going to be awful deep. Now, our buddy Jack, he is a big Penguins fan, and he's not very happy. It's not been a great year. Don't know what's happening with Sid in a year, what the offseason is going to be for Crosby, and he wants Sullivan gone.
Good luck.
But I know we've talked about that in the past, and maybe that's wishful thinking. Is it a change in coach on the way for Pittsburgh? Because it seems like it's unlikely. Why is that? I guess lead us to that.
Well, for one, this Pittsburgh Penguins roster is really poorly constructed. There are holes all over the place. They have poorly evaluated talent. Their bottom six was not fixed. The Erik Karlsson trade was not what they needed. And I don't believe that for a guy that helped the Penguins to back-to-back Stanley Cups, that Mike Sullivan woke up these last 2 years and forgot how to coach hockey. I don't see it. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have rewarded him as such. I mean, his contract extension was massive. It makes him one of the highest paid coaches in the league. They did the deal last year, not around this time, maybe like 15 months ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on my timeline.
Yeah.
And they extended him beyond his GM in Ron Hextall, and they did the deal without Ron Hextall. So Boston guy, Fenway Sports Group ownership, they're as thick as thieves. And I don't want to say Kyle Dubas doesn't have the autonomy to make a coaching change, but he'd have to present a really compelling case for a flawed roster to have Fenway Sports Group step outside of the power that Mike Sullivan has in that organization. I'd say John Tortorella, Mike Sullivan, maybe Rod Brindamore, the 3 most powerful coaches in the league when it comes to having say in personnel decisions. He's not going anywhere.
That's kind of what we've been led to believe. So Jack, I'm sorry, buddy.
Sorry, Jack. Did anyone out there believe that Karlsson thing was going to work in Pittsburgh? I didn't. I was pretty adamant that I thought it was going to be a poor addition. But am I out on a limb, or was that a general consensus? Because there's lots of times GMs make moves and you're like, Jesus, that's not going to work. Why are you doing that?
I mean, I had the same initial reaction as you, but if you're a Penguin fan, you were sitting there going, we just got 100-point defenseman. My answer to that at the time, and you can go rewind the pods in August, when I said the Penguins didn't need 100-point defenseman that doesn't play defense. It wasn't what separated them from making the playoffs last year. And it's not just that. For me, it's the other moves that were made, the contracts and term. Look, I get that part of the Karlsson deal was to wipe away some contracts that you didn't like, but multiple years for Lars Eller, multiple years for Noel Acciari. I can't understand. I still can't understand what their thought process is. Okay, the Riley Smith trade, that makes sense. That was one I understood. You take a cap casualty from Vegas, a guy who has cup pedigree. Sure, bring him in. But he didn't work. You should have moved him at this year's deadline. Like, the fact that Riley Smith didn't get traded blows my mind. It was almost like they thought, hey, we're going to make the tough decision on Jake Gensel, and maybe we could sneak in to the playoffs this year. They haven't been within sniffing distance. Like, think of all the teams that we just talked about. We were like, maybe the Islanders, the Devils, I guess, if you kind of squinted hard enough. No one's even talking about the Penguins.
So you mentioned that the ownership group is involved and may give contract to the coach. And I think you're right. I think the coach is great. Besides the point, I'm getting more to, is the ownership too involved? Are they influencing some of these decisions? We're a million miles away from Pittsburgh. But when you say the ownership group is handing out a contract to the coach, I don't give a shit. That's their decision. They can do what they want. But are they also involved in day-to-day management to an extent where it might be they might be going too far?
I don't think so. I think part of that was an initial feeling out process once they took control of the team. I think they realized that there were a lot of issues or flaws with the Ron Hextall group, and they were certainly more hands-on then. But I think once Kyle Dubas came in, I haven't heard of any sort of meddling or anything like that. In fact, I think he's had, for the most part, almost complete autonomy to make the moves that he sees fit. And think about how damaging that Karlsson deal is. I mean, not having your first round pick this year, I know that it's top 10 protected, and I think there is some thought that the Penguins have the optionality to choose whether they want to give San Jose that pick now. But the fact that it could stretch into next year and not be lottery protected, tell me the path for the Penguins to be more like they're going in the opposite direction. They were like the first team out last year. This year they drop back to 11th, 12th, 13th in the conference. How far is it to the bottom?
Yeah. You wonder with that Carlson trade, right? It's like, isn't it? It's your father-in-law, right? That loves a good deal. He'll buy stuff that he doesn't necessarily need or can't use just because
it's on
the price
sale.
is right.
Yeah, size 17 shoes. Who cares? It's a hell of a deal.
Costing you money not to buy it, Frank. Maybe the deal is just we're getting like you say, 100-point defenseman. Don't know that we need him. Yeah, but it's a hell of a deal.
Sometimes the best moves you make are the ones you don't do.
Well, maybe.
I mean, the Penguins changed out $24 million on their cap, and they went the wrong direction in the standings.
And they don't have a look about them that they're set up to go in the other direction. Like it's.
And then you hear Kyle Dubas speak after the trade deadline, and he says, "We owe it to Sidney Crosby. We vow to be more competitive." How?
What are you?
Yeah.
Where are your bullets?
And why would you want to? Like, with all due respect to Sid, who's having one of the best 36-year-old seasons in league history, and for my money should win the Selke this year. How? Like, why? Your goal now should be to get to the bottom as quickly as possible. Bottom out as soon as you can, and then figure it out from there.
I know we've talked about it here. No, I don't know if we have talked about it, but what will Crosby when the garbage bag day hits and 82 games have come and gone and it's another disappointing season? And like you say, Crosby has 79 points in 73 games. He's got 35 goals. It's an amazing year for him. What does he say when he's asked about his future, the team's future, and all of that moving forward?
He says all the right things, because that's actually what he's thinking and feeling. He wants to be a Pittsburgh Penguin, has no intentions or visions to go elsewhere. And I would be real surprised if we get to the 4th of July this year and the Pittsburgh Penguins haven't announced a new extension with Sidney Crosby. I think they've already done work on it. I think they already had initial conversations before the calendar even turned to 2024. I don't think this trade deadline and or this season has changed his thought process that he wants to be a Penguin for life, and extension coming at some point. That's my understanding, my view.
There you go. I never know how quite to feel about that, because you see players like that, and does he deserve better? Do they deserve better? I don't know that the team, it's not his fault.
It's as good as it could have been.
Yeah,
you won 3 cups. You got to a 4th final. You won multiple Conn Smites. You won multiple Hearts and scoring, races. Your team made the playoffs for 16 consecutive years. Like, deserve more? Like, how much more do we get in life?
Yeah, no, I do understand. I guess just as the sun sets on it.
Time, I like, what more could you possibly want?
You're right.
I mean, the only unfortunate part is that you have to play and live in Pittsburgh, but that's another thing entirely.
Philly guy. There it is. See that we never really take
lots of hills.
Into account.
There's a lot of hills. The road
very hilly, lots of green.
The road system is the shits. It's no good.
That drive in from the airport, beautiful, beautiful.
We have one street of bars. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Should have known. Don't get too far down the Pittsburgh trail with a Philly guy, but that's all right.
I actually like Pittsburgh. It's just it's easy to pick on.
So any I guess last minute, because heading your way. Any do's or don'ts as I come to Philadelphia?
Do keep your head on a swivel.
Okay.
Don't wear anything flashy.
Right. Yeah. Like jewelry or anything. Do I need a fanny pack? Do I need to
No, just stick to Center City. Don't go venturing off into unknowns, and I would say opt for an Uber instead of mass transit.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. The hoagie or the cheesesteak?
Both.
All right. There's that
You'd
was
be
quick.
an idiot not to.
Quick and decisive. I like that.
Love
'Cause
it, Frank.
You talk to some people, Philly cheesesteak, it's overrated. Everybody talks about it. Don't sleep on the hoagie. It's the hoagie in Philly, in that area, that you gotta love. So both.
It is quite good, depending on what you're into. You get an Italian.
Okay. Scrapple, yes or no?
100% yes.
Okay.
Gotta get it well done, though.
I concur.
What's that? Where do you do it? What do you do with it?
You got to get it well done. Got to be crispy, because sometimes they just don't cook it long enough, and the inside is still a little bit mushy.
And how are we eating? Is it on a bun? Is it?
I just eat it on a plate. It's
On a
like it's like a breakfast side meat.
You're gonna have trouble with it. It's almost
Meatloafy?
Meatloaf-ish,
Yeah.
but it
It can be thick. Yeah, it depends on how they cut it, but it's basically like someone would order it like a side of bacon. Like, it just comes on a plate and you just, fork and.
Okay. Tasty cakes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I think you should try one, but I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Entenmann's?
No.
I mean, it's just like a boxed cake. I don't
like a Pepperidge Farm. Is that kind of
yeah, like it's like, but it's just local, so then people like it. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way.
Yeah. Well, listen, when in Rome, man, I'm looking forward to it. Are we planning on seeing one another, or is it just kind of a?
I'll take you out for dinner.
Hey, missed you in Philly, because you don't. I was telling the guys, you don't live in Philly.
No, I live a bit north of the city. I mean, I've lived all over in the city. My brother lives in the city. I loved living in the city. Just ready for not living in the city.
There you go. Hey, it's okay. We're all getting older. We all need our peace and quiet. Thank you, friend. We'll perhaps see you. Stay tuned on the status of the jacket.
Well, I think I need it, or else I'm gonna have some marital issues.
Oh no, is it really?
Yeah, no. Like, my wife is pissed that I left that coat.
Ooh.
That was my Christmas gift like 2 years ago, and she's like, "That's the best thing I ever got you."
I see.
And you were like, "No, it's just a jacket."
I was like, "You did buy me a coat.
Yeah,
you bought me a parka. Thank you."
This is not the best thing you've ever.
It's like
the best.
Not quite me getting her a vacuum, but it's like
perfect.
Yeah.
Frankie, looking forward to see you. Thanks, pal.
See you guys.
There he is, Frank Seravalli, joining us on the Insider Hotline, a presentation of TELUS. Again, to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games, awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you need to do is fill out a quick survey to enter for your chance to win. Go online, TELUS.com/Flames contest. I didn't realize that maybe there was a little bit of unrest in the household because of it.
Causing animosity there.
Hey, it's not
Stress
cold.
For poor Frank. It's
April. What do you need this big parka for? If people don't know what the hell we're talking about. Frank was out here for the pond hockey in Jasper in January, left his jacket in my car, and I've still got it. Went to Toronto, took the wrong coat.
That's the best.
That coat came back, so I owe my coat. Yeah. It's really not this big. It was a very easy mistake to make.
If it's the best jacket he's ever had, you got to get it back to him, or gift, or any of the above. He needs that jacket.
It feels like that's accurate. Did you hear the dogs come barreling in here? Like, bang! The door went flying open.
Dogs. And how are the dogs?
They're fine. I mean,
they're dogs.
Yeah.
I had a dog over here yesterday.
Oh, really?
Running around the backyard. A city dog that's never been able to run around any yard.
Oh, yeah.
Wound up tight, but great. Kids are pumped. I realize these dogs dumb and what a pain in the ass.
Well, what kind of dog?
What a rescue dog. I don't know what
the breed.
I don't think the owners know what the breed is. Chewing on sticks and choking and puking and just like, I'm like, oh my god, no.
You're not down for that. And there too, if the shoveler buys surprise tickets to Florida, tougher when you have a hound. Well, what are you doing with the dog? You taking the dog with you? You got to have somebody look after the dog. You putting the dog in the kennel. What are you doing?
Damn dogs. Are you worried about the dog right now? Oh,
that's pretty much nonstop. They wrestle, they play around.
That big dog picks on my poor little thing.
Yeah, the big dog, he's still, he's a bit rammy. It was, and I know this must have been an emotional thing for you, and I didn't bring it up, but last Thursday, it was your dog, my dog, our dog's birthday.
Really? How many years?
4.
Yeah.
Because he was, as you know, a COVID dog, and a massive mistake for you to do.
Loved the 3 months I spent with that dog.
You did.
Was very excited until they started about locking things down again, and I'm like, no way. Here's a dog, somebody. I'm gone.
So the dog born late March, usually, what is it, like 3 months before you get on? April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, you had the dog for about 3 months.
Yeah. Maybe 4.
Left town, came back 4-5 months later.
5 months, yeah.
Yeah. And he's still here. It's a good
happily.
Dog.
Got a good pal picking on him.
Yeah.
Hell of a time.
Hell of a time. Hell of a time. The Service Big Share is back for the 6th year. It's your chance to win $1 million just by saving money. Anyone can enter by becoming a member and saving with Service. Every $500 saved gives you 5 entries into the Service Big Share contest. Now, here's some quick ways to earn entries. You can save in your daily banking account. Fast track those savings with a high yield savings account. Invest in a GIC that Service has during this contest period. Great interest rates and term lengths. Maybe a TFSA. Maybe an RRSP for some long. And if you don't know what that is, you go to Service and say, can you tell me about this? What's end of the day, transfer your existing savings to Service. You get chances to win $1 million. Contest ends April 30th, 2024. Skill test required. For rules, visit service.ca/win. Yeah, a lot of people, Kim coming in here. No pressure, boom. Frank's marriage is in your hands. I did not know. I would have just sent the damn thing. What do you need? I mean, it's a massive parka. It's a
like
full length, one of those full length, like down to your
below your knees.
Like whatever you call that.
Not a bomber.
It's real. It's a serious jacket. No messing around.
How many times could a guy in Philly wear a jacket?
I don't know. I don't know how often I would wear it here. He didn't even wear it in Jasper. Like, that's the thing. Dog sledding with this thing? Like, what?
Yeah, like this is a major jacket that you have to have. Philly mild.
What are the Seravallis doing in the winter months?
He's not a hiker. He's not a snowshoer. He's not a cross-country skier. He's not a downhill skier.
Oh,
doesn't appear to be a snow or abominable snowman or a what are the snowmobile.
No,
I can't imagine that's his jam.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't. It would be dog sledding. You this is what you would need, or as somebody is suggesting, it's a Canada Goose jacket. That's exactly right. Canada Goose, indeed. We're gonna get to the Pinder Report minus Pinder 08 today. People that are curious, where's Pinder?
Swooshing with his fancy jacket.
Yeah, he's swooshing with his Canada Goose. It's time to get after it. We've been talking about the Wendy's daily face-off survivor pool. It's been running for months now, and every Monday it starts fresh. So let's get on it. You go to daily, if you haven't already, go to dailyfaceoff.com. Top right corner, you'll see the daily face-off survivor link. Get your log in. If you haven't got your account set up yet, get it going and get after it. And then each day on that link, you'll have 10 options. You click on one of them. If that one comes through, like today, you've got Florida wins versus Toronto wins versus Florida. Will Pittsburgh get over 3.5 goals? Will Philadelphia get over 22.5 hits? You have multiple options each day. You pick one. If it comes through, then you're alive for Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday. And how it works is you get points that you then use through your Wendy's app for real food. The only thing sweeter than the taste of victory is starting your day with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart from Wendy's. There's no reason you can't have both now that Wendy's and Daily Face-Off Fantasy are giving you a chance to win weekly prizes all season long. And even if you make a few wrong picks, at least you know. Heading to Wendy's right now for a $5 Cinnabon Pull-Apart and small coffee is a great choice. Sign up for Daily Face-Off today, sponsored by Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Cinnabon's dangerous.
Oh,
right?
Yes. Very.
So good.
Yes, but once you start, there's no self-control. Zero.
And you smell them. You go to the mall. It's like, oh. And not often would you say, this might be better than I'm making at home. This is so good. This is better than Grandma makes. So, you know, if Grandma's still alive.
Grandma makes them here. They're the shits, in my opinion.
Oh, Grandma. Not
enough.
Don't tell her.
I won't. I don't eat them anyway. But
yeah, don't tell her. Well, I don't know. How do you do the Pinder Report without Pinder? I'm just setting everybody up to be disappointed. That's what it's going to come down to. Jack, I mean, right? You see what's in the Pinder Report. It's nowhere. It's nothing like the usual Pinder Report.
Yes, but it is better than last show's Pinder Report.
What happened there? Because I know it was an attempt at humor.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought maybe it was going well, and then Drager came in and cut off. We were just sticking to sports, and then you kind of caught on, and it was just lame.
But then he tried to...
And then he tried to add some shit at the end. Yeah, it was no good.
Yeah. I think it had nothing to do with that. Well, I think he tried to find something to tie it to, but in reality, what happened was, what returned.
Mm-hmm.
He was expecting to be able to go out and have a big shaker the Thursday.
Yeah.
Word came down that this, and from that point on, he lost total control and focus.
He was off the entire day.
He was. I
almost wondered if he was having some kind of a, everyone thinks I'm dying first.
CTE.
Yeah. Something
I
like
had
that.
one of those real bad yesterday.
Oh, really? You all right?
Having a conversation and it just...
Men in Black? Yeah.
But then people were looking at me. It was at the Easter dinner at Nona.
Yeah.
And they're like,
ooh. And continuing? No, I'm done.
We're going to have to change topics.
No, all good here. Yeah, nothing more to say. Village Honda presents the Pinder Report, of course, located here in Calgary at the Northwest Auto Mall. New in-stock inventory on the ground. The Honda Civic continues to lead the way in value, reliability, and performance. The 2024 Civic received a 10 out of 10 in Car and Driver's comprehensive vehicle testing. And the Civic Type R and Civic Si ranked number 1 and number 2, respectively, in the sport compact category. Village Honda, your dealership for life. Online at villagehonda.com. It's it's not Pinder. Ryan Pinder's not Ryan Pinder. Let's do it. We'll get into the Pinder Report. The Calgary Flames ended their 5-game skid with a rather impressive 4-2 win over the LA Kings on Saturday. Kadri, a goal and an assist. Pair of points for both Andrei Kuzmenko and Yegor Sharangovich. Jacob Markstrom faced just 18 shots. It's interesting. It sounds like it's kind of a shot, and I don't know. I'm not sure. But this is a very different Flames team than the one Daryl Sutter had, with Kuzmenko and Sharangovich and Miramanov. Do you know what I mean? There was there was a time you'd go years and years and years without there being a Russian or somebody from Slovakia, that sort of thing. It's a very different looking squad, different feel to this squad. Anyway. Mackenzie Weegar upped his goal total to 18. Only Roman Josi, Cale Makar have more. They have 19.
Ooh,
it
close.
Was another for Andrew Mangiapane, second straight game. Huska called him day to day. Suggests that he probably will not play tomorrow either in that game against Anaheim. So just keep playing the kids. Keep playing the kids.
We're going to see him moved this offseason?
We've talked about it a ton. I don't see it feels like his spot has been squeezed out. It's not been a good year for him offensively or otherwise. And the thing we kind of know about the game, and he's not old, but you get older faster nowadays. And I don't know, he was not blessed with great foot speed to begin with. So if he's not moving great, and then he's not producing offensively, and he's not doing getting under the skin of the opposition and getting this,
he's not noticeable, Dean.
Getting dirty areas. I don't know, man. Feel for him, and making a lot of money. So
I don't feel for him about that. That's
great, yeah. But in terms of moving him, I don't see a situation where you get him out of here without eating salary. And I don't know how eager you are to do that just to get him out of here. I'm going to just place a quick phone call here.
Somebody comes take this damn dog. Kids home from school this week, obviously. Spring break.
Oui.
Hi, how are you?
What?
Hey, I'm just doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
Could you come grab these dogs? They're
Are you live right now?
Am I live?
Oui.
That's correct. Yeah, we're doing the show right now. So you're on the show too. This phone call.
Merci beaucoup.
Thanks. Oh. It's great having kids.
Now that would be your youngest.
That's the daughter, yes.
If it was one of the other types of people, would it worded differently?
Yeah, it would have been what? There'd have been some video game that they have been playing that I would have been totally inconvenienced.
How could you?
I'll be right. Can I I'm just doing 10 minutes? Can I be there like 10 minutes? Oh, Dad. So that was best case scenario, how that one played out. Where was I? Rasmus Andersson. Talked about it earlier. We've been a little critical, maybe. Love the way he plays, leads by example. I was fine if he got the captain's letter on his jersey, all that. But over the last stretch of games, kind of hasn't seemed like himself, maybe. Seems a little off. But I thought he was much better. If you're going to criticize, also give credit when it's due. I thought he was good against LA. Skating, blocking shots, moving. It just seemed much more, at least to me, like himself. After the game, had a long interview session with the media. Was asked a lot about young players coming in, what it's like now, the recognition that maybe you're not one of the young guys anymore.
Yes.
Remember when you were one of the young guys? It's like, oh, yeah, I guess
that's
maybe
what I was chuckling about there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess he's not a young guy anymore, and how quickly that changes.
I was like, I guess 6 years. I guess you do this for a while, and you're not one of the young guys anymore. But also talk just about this team. There's been trades, it's been ups and downs. They're missing the playoffs again. Here was Rasmus Andersson just talking about. Now remember, they beat the LA Kings. They ended the 5-game skid. They were very good against LA on Saturday, and this is just his thoughts near the end of the conversation.
I think that's the one thing I love about our team too. It doesn't matter who you are. We all try to get in the lane and blocking shots and standing up for each other, and we all know what situation we're in. It's going to take a miracle to get in the playoffs, but we still show up on a night like tonight, and we block shots, we hit, we play a physical game. We're all over a really good team for 60 minutes, and yeah, it was one of those nights when you look around and you're proud of being this team.
So there you go. It's micro, macro. How are you tonight? And then kind of we're not making the playoffs, read in. But there's still a little something about being in a locker room that plays for each other, that sticks up for each other. There's things you can be proud of, even though it's a disappointing end of the season. Nonetheless, 9 games left. They have the Anaheim Ducks coming in tomorrow. Ducks on a Tuesday.
The Ducks struggling?
Yeah, they're not great.
Oh,
I think we had 1 win in the last 10, 4 straight losses. Yeah, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, the AHL affiliate of the Flames, they're the Calgary Wranglers. They lost to the San Jose Barracudas. Cudas. Barracuda? Plural?
I don't. It's got to be does.
Lost to the Duz yesterday, 4-1, but over the course of the weekend, did qualify for the AHL playoffs. There was a loss by somebody on Saturday. Punched their ticket. The lone goal scorer yesterday, Sam Morton.
Boy, Sam.
We're gonna have to. I mean, this is the newcomer. This is the guy. 3rd goal in 8 games since joining the Wranglers. 6 games left for them in the regular season sked. They're stretched out over the next 3 weeks. So Wrangler playoff hockey is coming, just not anytime soon. NHL yesterday, just 1 game. Vancouver clinched a playoff spot. First Canadian team to do so. Does it give you just warms your cockles to have the Canucks back in?
Just pumped.
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring it up with Frank because you were talking about Dallas. Now we don't talk about them that much, even though they're not a previous Stanley Cup winner like Colorado, and they're not oh my God, where did this team come from? Like Vancouver. And I think that probably takes a lot of the chatter out of it.
Mm-hmm. That would have been a good point. And still is.
It still is.
Even now. They beat Anaheim 3-2, those Ducks that we get to see tomorrow. The Canucks making the postseason first time since 2020. Just 6 players remain from that squad. Brock Besser, Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, Thatcher Demko, Tyler Myers, and of course, Elias Pettersson. But let's go back to Saturday. You, of course, you're living in Buffalo. You love Buffalo. We know about Buffalo. We hear lots about Buffalo. Well, the Buffalo Sabres hosted the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, it's nothing new. Now, again, for those that don't geographically challenged, like myself, I've never been to Buffalo. I've been to Toronto a few times, but it's airports, the hotels, and out. If I'm in Toronto, how long does it take me to get to Buffalo?
Hour and a half.
If I'm driving, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Red Deer. Yeah. Calgary, maybe a little more.
Traffic can always, but if it's just you're driving, hour and a half.
So the thing is, tickets are hard to get in Toronto for Leaf games. They're very expensive, that whole thing. So Leaf fans, why don't we go to Buffalo?
Happy to go to Buffalo.
It's an hour and change away. Tickets are easier to get, sometimes easy to get.
And the Jays farm team.
The Buffalo
Bisons, right there.
Turkey Gobblers. Yeah,
I was there that afternoon. They were there playing a game.
Unbelievable. So if you're a Jays fan, if you're a Leafs fan, it's a haven for you for sure. So it's got to piss Sabres fans off when you go to a game and there's all these Leaf fans kicking around.
I think the diehard fans it does, but the people that buy tickets and want to maybe sell a few,
is that right?
Pay for things.
Yeah. They're okay with it. Yeah. Well, this is a spoiler alert. Austin Matthews scored his 60th goal of the season. It's quite an accomplishment.
Pretty good.
So as you watch this, keep in mind, this is the Toronto Maple Leafs on the road. Take a look. See, look at it. It's amazing. So, I mean, good on the Leaf fans. And I know everybody's had their opinion on this over, of course, the weekend. But it's like, those are the Leaf fans. You go to Leaf games in Toronto, that's suits and the wealthy folk that take people and they, maybe they're up at the bar during the game. Anyway, not same game, Brett. You hate to see it. Some rough stuff. Now remember, these two teams, bitter rivals. You know this rivalry as well as anybody.
Sad.
This is Leafs Sabres brawl. So let's watch this brawl here.
Yeah, real.
Big hit there's a hit in the corner, and then Mark Giordano kind of sparks it. He kind of comes flying in here. Now, with this massive brawl, let's count the number of gloves that hit the ice.
Yeah.
In this melee. So there's some sticks. Everybody is tied up. Tempers are flaring here. There's a helmet. Still not a glove Everybody, there must be glued on, Rhett.
I text Razor and I said, that was embarrassing. I'm sorry. I don't care if you fight. You had better throw your gloves off so you could at least grab onto a guy and look at this.
And then
They're
it sparks up
pretending
again. And no one. Another helmet comes off. Now, I don't expect Rasmus Dahlin to fight, right? But
you don't have to fight. Your gloves come off so you can protect yourself.
And look at Tuck. Tuck comes in. Still no gloves. Now, finally, they off with the flippers. But it's a look at this. Embarrassing. And for people that are, I apologize if you're just listening on the podcast. It's a line brawl, if you want to call it that, but no one has dropped their gloves and no one wants to.
Yeah, it's a heated exchange of people slapping each other with gloves on and wrestling and face washing, but there's zero risk of a punch being thrown with a glove on.
Yeah.
Like it was shameful.
It was safe. No one got hurt.
Yeah.
No suspensions, I think, are coming from that. But
and it wasn't the list of combatant wasn't deep into histories.
Why I oughta, boy, you son of a gun, you, hey. That'd be another thing. If you had them mic'd up, were there any curse words? Doggone it, man.
Well, it seems like they wouldn't swear if they.
Oh, geez.
They're very under control.
Anyway, so that was the night for Sabres fans. A brawl where no gloves were tossed, and the Leaf fans took over the building, and Austin Matthews scored his 60th goal. Tough night. Sorry, Red. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
We can get into the standings. I know we looked at them a little bit earlier. So this is what it's looking like. We've got there's standings and wild cards. Sorry, Jack. I think we're anyway. So there's the wild card. The Kings losing. They don't make up any ground. St. Louis did not win. So you're keeping pace by losing is kind of a lot of what's happening here. Hey guys, we're keeping pace because they lost and we lost. Feels like Minnesota's too far back. Feels like St. Louis is too far back, but we will see. The Kings we'll tell you what they're doing tonight, coming up in a little bit. Moving on to the conference standings. There you see it. Dallas, Colorado, and as mentioned, Vancouver, they have qualified. The Jets have lost 6 in a row. No bueno. Vegas has kind of steered things in the right direction. They feel pretty good right now in that in the Pacific Division. The Oilers have a game coming up this evening, and they've been playing pretty well. I don't like it. But I said it earlier. Vegas, Edmonton. I like Vegas and their chances of upending Edmonton in round 1 better than I do the Kings.
Yeah.
T's and P's to Ryan to Mark Stone. T's and P's to Hurdle, Hannafin, everybody. I hope you're good and healthy because, of course, a Vegas first round win, that's the Flames a higher pick. So let's see if that can go. To the East, the Eastern Conference. We looked at this a little bit earlier. Panthers, the Panteros, you can get, when you're down there, you can buy your playoff seats, right? Playoff Panthers tickets are on sale now. Exciting. And Carolina's in as well. Don't talk about Carolina. And we talked about with Frank, Washington did not.
How has this happened?
They've fallen up because the Flyers and everybody else around them has
Flyers and
so
Wings
bad,
doing their best to lose out. Even you could even go further down that list. The Islanders and Devils, everyone has absolutely done their best to pack it in just so Ovi could play in the playoffs.
Yeah. Straight slop. So that's how that's looking. There's 8 games tonight, Red. There's 6 of the top teams in action. We'll walk through some of it, and I'll say a banger or no. Florida at Toronto.
Yeah, banger.
Yeah. Florida will have a chance to retake top spot in the Atlantic. They could reach the 100-point mark for the third time, in franchise history. And it could be a first round preview. Mm-hmm. If you remember, it was 5 games. Beat the Leafs in 5 in round 2
last year.
So that's a banger. Now that we've just kind of crapped all over Detroit, could they be in a banger? It's Detroit at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been very good. Detroit needs points. You know, they're 2 back of Philly, but the Flyers have a game in hand.
It's only a banger for one team.
So here's the rub for you. Okay. If the Leafs lose tonight to the Panteros, and if Tampa beats the Red Wings, Tampa 2 points back of Toronto in the Atlantic Division. Those two play on Wednesday.
Ooh,
in a guaranteed banger.
that'll be a banger.
Hey, that'd be a banger.
Huh?
That'd be a big banger. Edmonton, St. Louis. We know what's up for the Blues. They need it. Banger, no banger. Edmonton, St. Louis. Okay.
I don't think it's a banger. I just don't.
The Kings are in Winnipeg to wrap up their road trip against the Jets, who have lost 6 straight, including a 3-2 loss to Ottawa on Saturday. Ottawa at home lost.
Ottawa's playing better.
Banger?
No. The problem I'm having is that all these teams at West, I think it's set.
Because I'm trying.
I know. But as far as making the playoffs, I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes. Maybe some seating rearrangement, but at the end of the day,
I'd love it. I'd love it if it was a banger.
no, it's not.
Anyway, so there you go. That's some of what's going on. Connor McDavid, he's been really good. He needs 4 assists to become the 4th player in league history with a 100+ assist season. And, it's the Oilers, but he could be the first player in like 20 years to win the Art Ross Trophy after trailing by more than 20 points at any point in the season. Because that's the other thing. As good as Kucherov and McKinnon, all those guys have been, McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid's done it in like 70 games, maybe 65.
Yeah.
He was not very good for him.
He took 6 weeks off to start the season. I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll get there. You guys do what you do, and we'll see you in game 80, 81, 82. Now we'll get away from the NHL a little bit. We've talked a little bit about it here on the show. Landon Dupont. Mickey Dupont's boy, former Flame. You know Mickey. You know Landon. He is a youngster. He is playing at the Edge School on the west edge of the city, the U18 prep team. 19 goals and 43 assists. So 43 and 19. Ooh,
62.
How much?
62.
62 points in 30 games as a 15-year-old playing at the U18 school. Elliott had it on the weekend. He is expected to receive exceptional status and join the Western Hockey League at the age of 15 as opposed to 16, which is generally when you get even then, you got to be really good to get into the Western League at 16. Connor Bedard, last player to get this exemption back in 2020.
He's the only other player to get the exemption in the WHL.
In the Western League, who else? Tavares got it in the Ontario League. It's happened before, but
9 times in the CHL history. This is the 9th.
But he is a very good young player. And because you have a kid who's in that age category, you've known about Landon Dupont for a long time.
Yeah, but there's him and then there's other kids.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same category.
Everett Silvertips have the first overall pick, so they would love it.
Wonder
if we could get that Landon Dupont thing pushed through, that'd be great.
This is what's crazy though, and I don't even know. But I believe Everett has that pick because they made a trade, I think.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah. And you think about over the history of the last couple of years in the WHL, there's some massive 6-pick trade, just 8 players for one kind of stuff, and then you end up with this.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a trade.
Not bad.
Although you probably will get it for 2 years, so better.
No, you'd like it to be. All due respect to Everett, it'd be cooler if he was on a different. Maybe go to Saskatoon, Calgary. Calgary would be awesome. I want to just stay at home. Be all right. Speaking of the Western League, round 1 of the playoffs kicked off. Now, Saskatoon, I believe it was game 1 on Thursday. They lost to Prince Albert. They bounced back. They've evened that series at 1 game apiece. Moose Jaw, overtime win in game 2. They're up on the Wheat Kings 2-0. Red Deer was down 4-0 in game 2 against the Tigers and won in overtime to even that thing up. In the West, Prince George, Portland, the favored teams, they are off to 2-0 series leads in both of those. And we can switch to the next one. There we go. Silvertips and the Giants, of course, pretty quiet for Sam Honzik of the Vancouver Giants. Although Jaden Lipinski, he's a Flames pick, had a goal and an assist in game 2. And the Wenatchee Wild and Kelowna Rockets, a hat trick for Tija Ginla in game 1. He added another, so he's got 4 so far that series, even at 1 apiece. Do you still kind of, do you get I don't know, what's the word?
I'm interested in the WHL here because Saskatoon was ranked number 1, I think, in the country. So
Yeah.
They've never had chances, but never won it. Never be. Well, I guess they lost to Swift in overtime that one time when they hosted, but it's it's a bit of a dry spell, Saskatoon. If you want interesting hockey, only because I was bored all weekend and watching, the NCAA was also playing. These guys F up left and right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many games I watched where their team is up by a goal with less than 5 to play. They're not hanging on to it at all. And they're standing. They don't even have guys in front of the net.
Yeah.
It's just go.
You forget
go.
You forget sometimes they're kids, and everybody wants
to. They're 24. That's
all these guys want to score, right? Want to get some goals. We want to score. Yeah. Quinnipiac. They had a lead in the third period with I think 5 to go. They end up losing to Boston College. We can take a look. It's there. They're set the Final Four. I believe, where is it? St. Paul, yes. I think is where they're going to do the Frozen Four. So these are some of the guys. You remember Cutter Goche? This is the flyer that didn't want to be a flyer.
Hate the Flyers.
Yeah. Gabe Perreault is a guy that the Flames could have taken. I believe he went after Samuel Honzik. But listen, it's not about that.
I remember that.
So Boston College, they're going to face Michigan. Michigan beat Michigan State. Boston U, they defeated Minnesota. And Denver got by Cornell. So Denver, BU, Boston College, Michigan. I'm trying to think of, so Gaudreau will be wound up. Brendan Morrison, former Wolverine, he'll be excited. Who played at Denver? We would know. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the Frozen Four. Do you find it you're more in tune with the Frozen Four now that you're a Yankee Doodle dandy?
It's on,
yeah.
Right? It's on. So it was not that it was. No, I was thinking about going to a game because they're supposed to be a ton of fun, and we didn't end up going. And then I saw the game on TV, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't drive 5 hours to watch that. I think some of the appeal is to go to a regular season game and see it in a rink where the home team has their fans wound up and excited. So
somebody's to get to the dumb shit. Oh, we're getting there. And again, that's not it's kind of a Pinder thing. The Blue Jays 9-2 winners at the Trop yesterday. They split their season opening series with the Tampa Bay Rays. They opened up a 3-game set in Houston versus the Astros tonight. Now again, violence rearing its ugly head in sport. Another Toronto team involved. Genesis Cabrera, the reliever here for the Toronto Blue Jays. So he's it's Jose Caballero in the box. Take a look at what happens here. Just again, if you've got kids, you may want to get them away from the screen if they're watching. Just take it.
Very leafish.
Yeah, it's very leafish. Goodness. All right, dumb shit. Pinder, of course, is away, enjoying some family time. I didn't know he went to the beach, but apparently he did. And you might see some of this in Florida. You get a rental vehicle, you like to take the top windows down, you're enjoying yourself. I'm not sure why he's driving at the beach, but you can take a look at it here. I'm hoping that I think it was just him, but enjoying it. He's got the I'm not sure if that's a Toyota or a Hummer or what it is, but he's out for a nice little ride. But then all of a sudden he's gonna dump it. And please, Ryan, put your seatbelt on if you're gonna be. And I hope you got the insurance on the rental.
Yes, you always have insurance. Fortuitous bounce there.
It really is, yeah. It could have gone worse. It really could have. Now you're going to Florida, Rhett? Please.
I'll avoid that.
Don't be doing that. You're not supposed to have your Jeep out on the beach, for sure. He of course he's a proud father. He has twin boys. And our boys are older. I don't even know how old he's, but you got to teach them everything. They remember you mentioned that you got to teach them how to ski. You're teaching them how to play sports and all of this. Also teaching them how to ride a bike, maybe even a motorbike. I didn't know Pinder was a motorbike guy, but he's helping. This is must be one of the boys here. So he's got the young lad. There, look at that. He's got getting the hang of a motorbike.
Slow down. Let go. Let go.
Jesus.
Fence.
Fence right there.
Probably lucky there was a fence because
you're right. Yeah.
The next thing was a house.
And you can hear fall down, fall down.
Go that way. Slow down. Let go. Let go.
And at one point, you stop yelling. You're just like,
Yeah, let go, let go. And there's kind of a chuckle as he knows exactly what's going to. So Pinder, again, not Dad of the Year stuff here today, unfortunately. And he loves baseball.
He does love baseball.
He'd love his kids to play baseball. This is, you love seeing a father and son playing a little catch in the backyard.
Okay, try again.
Maybe a little aggressive swing when playing with your young child.
What a D-bag.
I mean,
Okay, try again.
how hard is that swing?
That's a full
Pinder.
swing. That's a full cut. That's a home run swing. That is I want it out of the park swing.
Too much, Ryan.
But he knew the camera was on. He knew the camera was on. He wasn't going to disappoint.
Jesus. So, all right, we'll lay off Pinder. You're a fan of AI, right? You love that. Now, I don't know that this, but I didn't dig that deep. But apparently, AI and so the filters that you have on Snapchat, they can do things. They can make you look like you're doing things. It can be very fake. And I forget what arena and what team it was, but they were having some fun at the expense of LA Laker fans. This is the Snapchat filter. And they've got the Laker fans who are crying in the stands. And the more you smile, the more you cry. That's you're being portrayed in a bad light. Now watch this. She gets the photo, and then once it loses the face, but I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like the dude on the right. He's really upset. I mean, he's having a rough day there. Big Laker fan. Hate to see it. Now I didn't know how to do this, Jack. I feel badly. I was going to talk to you about it because Pinder always gets into animals. Like when you two talk, is there any kind of, what are the parameters of what makes the Pinder Report? What's the filter? What needs to happen? What needs to not happen? I don't know how this works.
There's really nothing. It's not that complicated. He just sends me the video, copy the link. I downloaded it. It goes back into his folder.
Okay.
He takes care of the rest.
So do you submit stuff for this or it all just comes from him?
Most of it is him. I'll find the odd stupid video that contributes, but
right.
No, he's got a process and I don't really know what it is.
Okay. Some of this stuff was submitted to me. I just get stuff even though I don't do the Pinder Report. Emus Are you familiar with emus, Rhett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The llama.
They love seed. They love to eat seed and peck away, but apparently they're very dumb. As you can see here, these are bags of seed with the pictures of the seed on the bag. But that can't be very filling. So they're trying to eat the picture of the seed off the bag. Small brains.
Yeah.
Very
Dumb
small
birds.
brains.
They're not really like llamas at all, are they?
No. Well, are they the same family? Oh, dear.
Research.
This one got, so the next one. Do you like flamingos?
Not really.
No? They're pink. And you know what?
Because of the shrimp.
They're pink. And the thing of it is, I think they're a little shady. They're all. It looks like they're always kind of frigging up to something. They're always in a group together. You don't see one by himself. Watch this. I don't know. I just saw this. It's like, yeah, look at these shady fuckers. What are you pricks up to? What? Oh yeah, nothing to see here. All calm and cool. I'm telling you what, they're fucking around. They really are. What are you? Don't say anything. Nice and easy. There's some greasy Pinder to those guys.
We need a gator to clean those things.
You do need a gator. Fucking flamingos. Don't trust them. If you're down in Florida, Rhett, go the other way.
I'm avoiding all flamingos.
Go the other way. This one literally made me go, ooh, when I got it. You know I don't like sharks.
No.
I'll just let this one go. Nice leisurely swim for baby shark. Stay out of the water. Look at that.
That's shallow. That's the depth that I could go in.
Jesus. I don't know if I feel like if he wanted to eat them, he was going to eat them.
Just sending a message, you think?
I guess so. Christ almighty. And we'll end with this is the only, somebody sent me a crocodile vid. And I feel like that's the prerequisite. You have to have it. So here is a gator who I guess is itchy, Jack. He's just kind of rubbing up against the fence of some sort there. He's kind of, oh yeah, getting his little rub on, got his ear. And then I guess decides maybe I'm just going to go right through here.
Go through.
Look at this bastard. That's a metal fence.
It's nothing.
No big deal. I'm going right through.
Is that, are they meant to be out on that side?
I
of that
don't know.
fence?
This guy's helping him. Here you go, bud. Yeah, here you go. Let me help you. When you're in Florida, I need some, do some croc research. Get some croc vids for us. You know,
I will go, and I know exactly where to go.
Because they kind of run free, right? They do the
Everglades is full of the bastards.
yeah. And that's where you're going. So T's and P's. Take care of yourself, bud. That's the Pinder Report.
I'm going to avoid this one.
Presentation of Village Honda. New in stock inventory, of course, pre-owned. A huge selection. Over 90 units on site, access to more than 500 more inside the dealership group. Make Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They're worth the trip. Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall. So when you flying, when you leaving?
Noonish tomorrow. Get down there, get my Speedo on. No Panthers game. There's a big country concert.
Oh, really?
The Tortuga event.
Yeah.
Just down the beach from where we're staying. So may have to pick up some tickets.
Good for you. Yeah. The whole family going?
Whole family.
Nice. Very nice. This is coming in. There's gators in Florida, not crocs. You know what, Eric?
Oh my God.
They're all the same to us.
No, I mean,
Prairie boys.
don't be a gator nerd, you know? Jeez. Sorry. Look out for the gators
I will.
down in
Either.
Florida.
Any reptiles? I'm good with.
You're not going to see a Don't worry about the crocodiles, but make sure the gators. So what? Baseball? You have plans? I mean, I'm not sure that the boys are going to love going to the Tortuga country concert.
Man, they
Maybe
do
I'm
like
wrong.
country music. So
yeah,
I don't know. No plans. The idea is to get a sunburn and fill my face with cold drink and beverage. It's across this. I'm going to walk from the room to the beach and back and back
and back. Yeah.
And back and back and back and back and
Yeah.
back. And done.
Sounds about I like the speed of that.
Well, I thought about going to this event that you were talking about, and then I realized it's Philly and it's big and it's people and
yeah, it's a lot. I don't know how I'm doing it.
It'll be great. I'm somewhat concerned that well, off air.
No, what? You're concerned? About me?
No, not about you. You'll be fine. About Pinder, because probably my internet will go down and you won't be available.
Oh, right. Yeah. My internet, I'm predicting shaky access. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Zero access.
My internet, and I've heard the same thing about where you're going. Spotty internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you know what though? He'll be fine. He's a veteran in the broadcast field.
Good test for him. You know what? This opportunity for him to step up, and
that's right.
Seize the day.
Douglas Mattress, as we wind things down here on a Monday, named Canada's best mattress on Canadian Living, loved by more than 200,000 Canadians, 10,000 5-star reviews. I've got one. I love it. Shows up at your doorstep, delivered in the box. It's going to take two of you. Probably going to take two of you. You bring the box inside, take it to the room, take it out of the box. It's vacuum sealed. Open that up. Opens up to its, fills out to its full size. Free shipping, coast to coast to coast. You try it. You've got a 365-night risk-free trial. You don't like it, you'll get the full refund, no questions asked. And every mattress order at the website you see it, douglas.ca/FlamesNation, comes with a free Comfort Sleep bundle. That's 2 memory foam pillows with pillow protectors, a luxurious cotton sheet set, and a mattress protector. That's like a $650 value for free. Right now, yours for free when you order a Douglas mattress at douglas.ca/FlamesNation. I'm a sleeper and I like it. I bet you're going to like it too. There you douglas.ca/FlamesNation. We'll do some Betway and a little DoorDash. The Betway bets, a bit of a loser parlay I've thrown together here for you. I'll show you what it's because it is one of those nights. There's some seemingly lopsided games. Tough to find value in the Colorado-Columbus game. So we're going to do a little something, but we'll take a look. But with Betway, it's our buddies at Betway. Get your free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. What? Yep. Create a new account, scan the QR code on the screen, redeem your bonus, place a bet, no minimum amount required, and if it loses, you'll get a refund of up to $200. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. This offer only available outside of Ontario, but I think that's a great. I mean, hey, let's go. Let's take a look at the bets. Now, I'm not saying these are necessarily the way to go tonight. LA at Winnipeg. At some point, the Jets have got to get right. They've lost 6 in a row. LA did not look great to me 2 nights ago against the Flames. They lost to the Oilers the night prior. Maybe it's a get right spot. I'm going regulation win because it's going to give you a little extra juice. Plus 130 for a regulation win for the Jets at home. Figure it out, Jets. I mean, give your head a shake. 6 in a row? Are you going to do this again?
Weren't they going to be our team to cheer for?
This is going to be year. These guys are going to be putting 6 in a row. Hey, to Foley, figure it out. Monahan, do you see the chance Monahan had in the dying seconds the other night? Empty net, and the puck's at the top of the crease. Monahan misses the net as the goalie's diving back in, whatever Ottawa goalie it was. Gross. But they're going to be fine tonight with that regulation win. And now it's a little loser parlay. Losers parlay. Let's put it together. Now let me get the exact opponents for this matchup tonight. So I said Colorado. They've got the Blue Jackets. I like Colorado there. The Rangers are at home to the Penguins. I like the Rangers. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the St. Louis Blues. We know the Blues are hungry, but not sure. And Tampa Bay at home to Detroit, who we've told you was a hot mess. Wet garbage. So a loser parlay. Give me Colorado, the Rangers, Edmonton, and Tampa Bay all to win a plus 363.
Oof.
Now, if
Big game
something
hunting.
goes sideways, you're not going to get anything. But we're going to roll the dice and say that those 4 teams come through for you tonight. Those are the Betway bets of the day. New account, scan the QR code, redeem that bonus. You place a bet. If it loses, you get a refund up to $200 back. And then use that money again to do a little bit more betting. This offer only available outside of Ontario. Bet the responsible way. Join the action with our buddies at Betway. So out of that, I'll give you, I'll ask you what's up for DoorDash. What's on the menu?
6 hockey games tonight.
8. But
8 hockey games tonight. 6 top teams in
6
action.
Yeah, 6 of the top 10 teams in action. Proud of you for paying attention. That's nice. I like that. With DoorDash, it's restaurants, it's groceries, it's pharmacies. It's whatever you want. It shows up at your door. Ordering's easy. Get the app. When do you want it? It'll show up. Double Dash. Get multiple restaurants or stores in the same delivery without additional delivery fees. It's a beauty. A limited time, you'll get 25% off and 0 delivery fees in your first order of $15 or more with the DoorDash app. And enter promo code NATION25, NATION25 to get that deal in place. So yes, as far as let's take a look here. Let's be honest with one another. Colorado, Columbus is not a banger.
No,
it just is not a banger. Penguins, Rangers. Now I know the Penguins are no good. This is an old Patrick division kind of feel.
In New York?
It is in Sid York.
Sid likes to, he's going to Broadway. He'll put on a show.
All right. Mild banger. Islanders, Flyers, not a banger. Panthers, Leafs, banger.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your 5. That's 5 local here in Calgary. Panthers and Leafs. And I threw it out there. I know you kind of didn't feel it, but I feel like Kings Jets has the makings of being a banger.
Both teams should be hungry. Jets for sure. And the only reason I was saying that some of these aren't bangers is just, well, that's because
Oilers, Blues, you got to want it. Red Wings, Lightning. There's some games here that are important to some teams, but don't have a feel of a banger. No. I feel like maybe Kings Jets could be a banger. It could be a complete dud too, though.
No, it won't be a dud.
Okay.
Won't be done. Too important.
Panthers, Leafs. Remember, because last year the Leaf fans were out in front of the building. Or
very excited.
They wanted Florida. We want Florida. Well, you got it right in the took us. So there you go. That's what's on the menu for DoorDash. Again, limited time. The promo code NATION25 will get you 25% off and 0 delivery fees in your first order of $15 or more. Dash that for the win with DoorDash. Jack, how do you think we did today?
Excellent.
It's a different vibe. And again, it's to do the Pinder Report and to do the other stuff is you could get the ads. It's a lot of moving parts. And I don't really have a feel for the dumb puking. And you notice there was no vomiting or eating of rats or rotten meats or anything. There was no snakes crawling up the toilet and stuff. So I feel like I've maybe let people down.
Well, their guts feel better. Sometimes there's some queasiness that pops up with Pinders.
I feel like tomorrow he's going to make up for lost time, though.
I'm sure.
He's already sent me a bunch of.
Jesus. Where does he get them?
I don't know. I mean, once you find them, they show up more and more. Like my phone is now screwed. Like my Instagram, my Twitter, it's crocodiles, it's snakes.
I get a lot of crocodiles. I do. It's a lot of crocodiles. Thankfully, not as many raw eggs eating or whatever. There's cake I could actually eat while watching. Well, I guess you're welcome. I guess you're welcome for that. Hey, Rhett, safe travels.
I'll do my best. I don't have much
Yeah.
say in it. I'll be in an airplane, so
Yeah.
Thanks. Though.
Well, don't don't.
I'm just hoping some doors don't fly off. I feel that's a thing lately. There's
when you hear stories of people vomiting or pooping, and then they got to land flights and stuff, I really hope you don't shit yourself and they have to put.
I saw one this weekend where a guy took a picture of a code or a flight ticket.
Yeah.
And used it to get on, scanned it, got on, hid in the can, took off, and then the flight attendants were like,
"Who are you? Where's your seat?
Where are you sitting?"
Yeah. Wow.
Arrested. Huh.
Yeah, that would work. That's probably what would happen there.
So then the fun ended right then and there.
Yeah. But you have tickets, right?
I believe so. It's a stranger thing. I hope
that's
it's
the other thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more seats than you need. Sometimes it's not enough. It's the wrong destination. I'm going back to it. T's and P's. Safe trip tomorrow.
I'm gonna do my best to get there.
The rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow. It'll be a Flames game day. Appreciate you. Be good. See you, buddies.